Okay, welcome to our first team call of April. I'm really excited as talking about for this month's topic. I am theming it around growing strong businesses for busy people, because you know how we talk about in coaching and in what program you choose to do yourself, that you want to invite to a program that is applicable to you, that you're doing yourself. So I wouldn't invite to 80-day obsession if there's no way I could do the 80-day obsession program, because it'd be like, I couldn't really talk about it. I wouldn't necessarily market 6 weeks of the work when I'm 7 months pregnant, because I can't do that program. So that being said, it's like, those are examples of, you need to talk about what program you're doing in your coaching journey that applies to your life. Well, when it comes to building our businesses, my life right now is extremely crazy. Like, it's just, there's so much going on. But I also know that's very relatable for a lot of you, because you also are a lot of you are in similar seasons, whether you're working full-time hours or you're a full-time mom, or you've got so many different things going all over the place. It's hard, and it can be overwhelming, and it can be frustrating and even discouraging, thinking, can I actually grow a strong coaching business with my life the way that it is? And if I can't figure it out, how in the heck am I supposed to ever invite to coaching when I feel like a fraud myself, because I haven't been able to figure it out? Has anyone related or felt like that at any point in the process, or even right now? I know that I have felt that way in the past. Even this past year or 2 years has been such a whirlwind in my life, and I have not done as well as I would have liked to in certain areas. So I decided this month, let's make it our topic. Like, let's grow together in this area of how can we grow strong businesses in the midst of busy lives. Because if we specialize in that, you guys, and we figure this out, and we wrap our minds and brains around the systems needed to do this, do you know how awesome it is going to be to go out there and invite to this coaching business, saying our team specializes in teaching really busy people how to still build a strong business on the side with this? How cool is that, right? It's like gut health protocol. When you're specific in your marketing that you're doing a program specific to improving people's digestive health, other people struggling with digestive health are going to gravitate towards you versus someone who's just talking about health and wellness in general. You're talking specifically about what they struggle with. And the same is true for the business. We're going to be talking specifically to what people struggle with, their inhibitions of why maybe they've never done it before. Maybe some of your current preferred customers or discount coaches or customers who've never made that switch over to coaching because they're like, there's no way, I'm way too busy. Well, thankfully, my life has always been that way since I started coaching for 6 years, one reason or another. It's just always been busy. And so, but I will say, I feel in reflection that I've kind of done a poor job of identifying that and teaching specifically what I have done that's worked for me to build a strong business in the midst of a crazy life. So that's kind of like the intro of this month of why I wanted to talk about this. And I've broken down some different topics. Of course, I don't have in front of me right now. I've asked a core group of people, what is it that you struggle with in this area, or that your team struggles with? What are some topics that we need to grow in together as a team? And today we're talking about mindset habits, and we're also going to be talking about income producing activities towards the end, which I think is going to be really helpful. Hey, remember, I'm paying you $1 to go babysit your sister. Oh yeah. Can you go watch her? Yeah. $1 an hour for a 4-year-old is like really top of the wage. Here, go play with Sissy, please. I'm not going to pay you your $1 if you don't watch her, bud. You can't play with Legos around her. No. Put those back. Go play with something else, please. We're still figuring out our schedules. My husband was supposed to be home until an hour before our call, and he got a phone call, I believe. So Hence, busy life. You could still run a business. Okay, so let's dive in to the topic for the day. What are mindset habits for a busy human to have a strong business? I want to know from you guys, and I'm pretty sure we're all going to raise our hand, but who in here strives to be a humble, generous person? That is our goal. We want to resemble that. We want people to say about us, like, yeah, that woman is a humble person, always wanting to serve others. Our church service yesterday was actually on this topic somewhat, and I wrote up something that I think is going to be really clarifying for us as far as what that looks like. Where did my page go? I'm going to read this to you guys, and just so you know, I have notes on everything I'm going to share today. I didn't have it together to put together a PowerPoint, but I'm going to share all these bullet points with you as well as what I'm about to read. So, humility is not thinking less of or down on yourself, which I think a lot of people get confused. They think that humility is thinking less of yourself, but it's actually not. Humility is thinking of yourself less about your fears, less about your inadequacies, less about your weaknesses, less about your past, less about your beliefs, and more about how you could help facilitate growth in others. Can you not play out here, buddy? Can you go play in your room? Okay. Pride, the opposite of humility, but pride, who can identify with this, unfortunately. Pride is believing that you can do it all by yourself without help from others or even help from God. How many of you have charged forward and said, I'll do it all on my own. I don't need help from anyone. I don't need to pray about it. I'll figure this out. I have, I'm not proud to say, a prideful person would rather fall on their face, struggling miserably, and even quit before asking for or accepting help in their mission. Humility is seeing value and potential in yourself as a loved and powerful child of the creator of the universe and lifting those around you up despite your own fears and insecurities. It is making your team, your friends, your customers better versions of themselves and allowing yourself to be a part of a team that works together to do more than one person could ever do on their own. And I wrote that up when I was thinking about and everything I've learned from the professional development to the business development conferences. I've paid to go to several of them in the last 6 years. And all of these successful people have very similar habits when it comes to their mindset. Like, I'm talking millionaire, billionaire, multimillionaire, whatever people, top Beachbody coaches have very similar mindset habits. And I'm going to share those with you today. But a lot of it comes down to this: being okay with being a part of a team and identifying that when I have to see if this continues to cry. Maddie, what happened? I'm sorry. But basically identifying that, what happened? Come here. Okay. Hold, pause, please. Okay, you're okay. Identifying that the mission that is on your heart, the desire that you have to help other people is more important than your own fear, than your own lack of know-how when it comes to fill in the blank of whatever you've told yourself of, I can't be successful in this business because fill in the blank. When I know that each of you have signed up to be, okay, go play in the other room, have signed up to be coaches, and you're here on this call or you're listening to the recording because you have something inside of you that wants to help other people, and you believe that we have a tool that can do that, right? So that is our intro into this topic. So number one, let me actually really quick, I'm going to share Madison. Maddie girl. I'm going to share, especially because of the nature of this call. I'm going to share a link in the chat with all of these notes that I'm going to go over so that you guys can have. And I'm also going to put this, I'll make it a PDF and I'll put it in our team page as well, just so you know. Okay. So number one habit of a busy person, remember we're thinking of the context of someone who life is just crazy and they're overwhelmed, but they really have this, they really want to grow a strong business. It's important to have context in this conversation. So number one, you have a clear vision beyond one's current struggle. That part is essential. This breeds into high necessity to succeed. Hold on, let me let Tammy back in. If you have low necessity and a busy life, you won't do things that are hard or uncomfortable, but required to grow and figure it out. So when I first started, as all of you know, I was working in a prison, and I had another version of just a crazy life. I had a newborn. I was a new mom figuring things out. My husband was on call 24/7, a very dangerous job, and working with the Mexican mafia, interviewing them across the table. I couldn't use my last name on social media. I was dealing with the new diagnosis with my degenerative disc in my low back, worried that I could never get pregnant again. Like, my head was crazy. And that was when I started coaching. And I had this newfound hope that I could maybe do something, build something that would get me out of prison, because my job paid way too much for me to quit. I couldn't quit. I knew I wouldn't work in the hospital, and it would be hard for me to get a job in the hospital. And I couldn't do anything else that would pay what that job paid. Unfortunately, that was just our situation. And so I found this coaching business that aligned with everything that I am as a human. And I had a very high necessity, because my vision was to be home with my kids, but still contribute financially in a substantial way and have the freedom to do that on my own terms in a way that was making a positive impact in the world. Those were like my three things. Oh, thank the Lord you're home. Those were the big things for me that bred high necessity. Hold on one second. Let me do this again. Okay. I'm going to put my headphones on if you guys don't mind really quick. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Let me make sure that this is set up. I'm sorry, this has been so choppy. Her dad's your favorite. Okay, so clear vision, high necessity, so that when life is hard, when you're scared to do something, when it's hard to figure something out, when people reject you, you don't quit, because your mind is focused on where you're going and what this platform could do for your future, whether that's your future self, your future family, your future getting you out of a situation, putting you into a situation, getting you out of debt, putting you into a financial situation where you can move. Everyone's necessity and reason for it is going to be different, right? That was just mine when I first started. Number two, strong belief that what you're doing has the power to shift the trajectory of someone else's life. If your belief is wavering, that's a typo. If your belief is wavering, your actions will always waver with it. Meaning, if you believe that Beachbody, the platform that we have access to as coaches, the tools we have access to, from fitness to our supplements to our nutrition, if you believe it has the power to change the trajectory of someone's future, physically, mentally, emotionally, even coaching, financially, community, relationships, If you truly believe that, then that should push you to do things that are uncomfortable. It should push you to figure it out. But if you waver in your belief, you're going to start doubting. What are people going to think? What if I don't really know anything about social media, so I'm not really going to do anything? I don't have fill in the blank. We've all struggled with these doubts and fears. This is a very normal part of the growth process to have these. And guess what? As you become more successful, you're going to have new doubts and new insecurities that come up. It's so wonderful. It's just part of the growing process. For me, I have unique ones in this stage of coaching that I didn't have when I was new. But my belief is so unwavering that I know this has changed my family's future forever. My kids have a completely different future because of Beachbody coaching. My marriage is completely different because of Beachbody coaching. My husband was able to get out of law enforcement in a really crazy time in California because of Beachbody coaching. We were able to move to North Idaho because of Beachbody coaching. None of this would be able to happen if it wasn't for Beachbody coaching. So my belief that this potential of this business could change your life is so high. That's why I will always continue to develop resources and develop training calls and show up on Mondays, even in the middle of my chaos life. I'm like, what is that noise? It's just like hailing marbles outside. Like, what is happening? Anyways, I'm like, what is happening with this call? The devil does not want you to be encouraged about coaching or something, because my goodness. Okay, so high belief, there's power with that, right? So check that in yourself. What do you believe about this platform you're sharing? Number 3, your coaching business is not separate from your busy life. It is interwoven into it. You share how Beachbody enables you to keep up, stay energized, have healthy habits for your family through the chaos. And this is something that a lot of people have asked me. I don't know how to share on social media, or I don't know how to integrate coaching into my life the way that it is, because I'm constantly on the go, or I work full time, or whatever it may be. Everyone's circumstances are different. And from the moment that I started this, I never thought of it necessarily as much. I never thought of the two as separate. Yeah, I know. What is happening? It's like golf balls outside. To me, even if it didn't have the business side of it, I would still do the healthy habits. Well, I wouldn't have as much accountability too, but I would still, it's just getting crazy. Can you hear the hail outside? I don't know what's happening. Okay. I would still want to drink my Shakeology every day. I would still want to work out, prioritize my workouts. I would still want to follow the nutrition programs, because it makes me a better person. It makes me a better mom. It makes me a better wife, a more confident wife. I manage my time better. I live more fully because of the tools we have with Beachbody. For those of you who don't know this about me, my entire life is driven by living my life to the fullest, because I almost died when I was 11. My dad and I were hit by a drunk driver. My dad was only 33 when he died. And so I was just talking to my husband about this the other day. To me, wasting time doing things that are meaningless, like, it's something I have to work on, like being able to relax and watch Netflix, because it's so loud. I feel like I have to shout. Can you hear me? It is such a huge thing that drives my soul, is to live fully with the time that I have, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. And I truly believe and feel that for myself, because of the tools I have with Beachbody, I'm able to do that more fully. And so that drives my belief into my vision, but it's also why I can show up and function with 3 kids and now 4 family businesses. So to me, it's all together, right? How I did not sleep well last night. My daughter was coughing. I slept maybe 5 hours. And so I'm going to show by energizing my Shakeology on social media and my stories. And I'm going to explain not just about, this is my pre-workout, this is my shake, no, what does it do for me? And I'm going to teach people that, because they're going to identify with the sleepless night and they're going to want to know how I continue to function. Does that make sense? Show your beach bars and your packets of shakes while you are on the road. How do you travel? Krista, you did a great job of that when you went, I think it was for your anniversary, wherever you went. And I saw you doing your shakes and stuff, Power Green packets. What is it that works for you in your stage of life? The workouts, show your workouts on the road, or why do you choose to work out early in the morning? Or why do you choose to prioritize working out even when your kids are watching? What does that do for you in your busy life? That's the story that you tell. It's not separate, it's the same. You're just sharing how it empowers and enables you to be the best version of yourself in the middle of a crazy life. Because let's be honest, whether or not coaching is a part of it, your life's going to be crazy anyways. So why not just use it as an opportunity to feel better and then help other busy people feel empowered in their own chaos, right? That's really what this comes down to. Okay. Discipline in one's habits is mandatory for a busy life. I shared a quote, I can't remember, last week, the week before, and I'm probably going to butcher it now, but it was vision without discipline is the beginning of disillusionment. I think that's actually what it was. Meaning you can have a pretty vision of where you want to go in your life. You can dream really big and have, this vision of your future that's different from where you are now. But if you're not disciplined in the actions that is required for you to grow to become that person, you're going to be disillusioned. You're going to be discouraged because you're not willing to do the things to get you there, right? And so I just loved that quote, and it's very true. When your life is busy, if you are not disciplined about putting yourself on the front burner, especially in the morning, to fill your cup in the morning, to prioritize quiet time, to prioritize your self-care, you will always be on the back burner, because everything and everyone else, we're all women on this call. Pretty much, I think in our team, we're all women. And those of you who have kids, hello, we end up on the back burner if we do not make intentional choices to prioritize our quiet time, our devotional time, and our workouts, and taking care of ourselves. But if we don't take care of ourselves, who's going to take care of the little people? Right? Or we're going to feel super burnout and snap at them and not be our best selves. So discipline in one's habits is mandatory, both in your business and in your health journey. Self-care becomes your job when you become a coach. And there's actually a really beautiful part to that, because now that I'm in real estate and my husband's an entrepreneur in a different side in the construction concrete area, for most entrepreneurs, self-care is not even on the radar. They are burning the candle at both ends, and a lot of them are not taking care of themselves. They are foggy minded. They're not feeling great because of all the stuff that has to get done. Well, for us, self-care is our job, and we're teaching other people how to do it. Okay, let's talk about fear real quick. You cannot just ignore your fears and do it anyway. You have to chase your fears. You have to run towards the things that you're afraid of. And I learned that from the book, Get Over Your Damn Self. It is an awesome book about network marketing and the things that usually prevent people from being successful. I highly recommend you reading it or listening to it this month. If you don't have one that you're reading or listening to, I'll probably end up listening to it again this month. But I remember very vividly that chapter, and the way that she writes it is just really eloquently put and very powerful. And recognizing, for me, when I read that book, I hadn't quit my nursing job yet, but I was on the fence about it and giving up a lot of financial security that my job provided. And that was when I decided to go turn in my papers. And because I realized that if I didn't run towards my fear, I wouldn't have the capacity to grow with Beachbody. And then none of this, where we're at years later, would have ever happened. So identify for you, what are the things that you're afraid of? Is it live videos? Is it sending invites? Is it connecting with people? What is it you're afraid of that's holding you back? And then only you can decide to have that clear vision with high necessity and that strong belief, and to do it anyways. Because going back to the beginning of this, when we talked about humility, because your fears and your insecurities don't matter when we're on a mission to help other people live their best lives, right? And I don't mean that in a mean way. It could probably come across that way. More of a tough love thing. But don't let your own stuff get in the way from other people living a life beyond what they could even dream of right now on their own. Okay, now also learn to have grace for yourself when you fall on your face, because you will. It is not a question on if you will. You will. You're going to fail at things. You're going to set goals and you're not going to reach them multiple times. You're going to try something that you have a really good idea about and work hours and hours on it, and it's not going to pan out. I cannot tell you how many times that has happened to me. I can't put a number on it. So many times. So have grace for yourself and know how you're going to react. You can adjust your pace, you can adjust your approach, but make the decision to never quit, because your purpose is stronger than those speed bumps. When I first told my husband that I was thinking about doing this coaching thing, he told me two things: that I couldn't never quit, and that I had to give it all I had. And I'm very thankful for that, to have that kind of support. But 6 years later, here we are. It's been hard. This year especially has been so hard for juggling everything. And so I've had to adjust my pace a little bit, and I've had to adjust how we do things. Side note, if you missed my live video on our team page, our new Coach University is now going to be a self-paced training. So any new coaches that you have coming on board, it's open for everyone. It will not be password protected. And we want them to go through it at their own pace, recommending they do it within a 2-week time frame, because as you all know, it's very easy to start something and not finish it when you get overwhelmed, or it's something you don't want to do, or something new that you learned. So we still recommend the 2 weeks. And for accountability purposes, you all are going to probably see more posts in our business collaboration page, because their accountability piece is to post their assignment for the day in our business collaboration page, so we all can encourage them on as they go. So your new coaches that sign up that want to run the business, add them now to our Health Patriot business collaboration page. God, it's such a long name. Who decided on that name? Add them there so we can, and welcome them, please. And then send them the link. It's newcoachuniversity.health-patriot.com. It will have all 10 days instructions on there. They can go through it at their own pace, and then they'll use there's instructions for how to post things in our page. So that was a pivot for me, because I had said, as most of you know before, that we were just going to do classes and do one a month, and there's going to be a corresponding chat thread with that. It turned out to be a lot of work, and our second class totally fizzled out because it was just timing for everybody. So I can't keep up on that. Jamie can't keep up on that. We tried. So now we shifted. So just know you're going to fail at things. You're going to try some things. They're not going to work, but adjust your perspective, adjust your pace, whatever you need to do, but just make the decision not to quit if your vision and your belief are still strong, right? Okay. I recommend always having someone to mentor you, and always have someone you're mentoring. In the beginning, you're probably not going to have someone you're mentoring when it comes to coaching. So my recommendation, where I grew the absolute most in my business confidence, was when I mentored to YouTube. And I've told many of you this 700 times, that I highly recommend making videos. Learn something, teach about it. Learn something, teach about it. How do you become emerald? Learn how to become emerald, and then teach about it and make your own video. For those of you who don't know how to do that, open Zoom, get a Zoom account, a free Zoom account, and you can screen record on there, or you can just record your face. You would do new meeting, press record, it'll record to your computer, and then it will download, and then you upload that to YouTube. It's very simple, but you will learn so much in the process. What do you teach about? anything you've struggled with, anything you're currently struggling with. So my first ones were how to become Emerald in 24 hours, how to make your first $500. If you don't know, go watch a video about it on the YouTube. I have one. You can watch it, make points about it, and then you teach it. You don't have to come up with all the information on your own. Nobody does that. I didn't do that. Learn from someone else and then reteach the information, and you will grow so much and you will get leads from it. YouTube is social media marketing as well. It's just a different avenue of it. But the benefit is that it's less crowded and you can send resource links to people. So let's say you did one about how to become Emerald in 24 hours. You have a new coach sign up. She wants to go. You say, hey, check out this video I just did. Such a great learning and teaching resource. Okay. Let's talk about overwhelm really quick. I only have 3 more points. Recognize that overwhelm will come. When you are driven, when you have a busy life and you want to build a business, you will become overwhelmed, most likely multiple times throughout the journey. Happens to me all the time. Know that it will come. With ambitious people, we often put too much on our plates and have unrealistic expectations to do it all with a smile on our face, right? So decide what you're going to do when you choose to put yourself in that place. And I think that part's important. I choose many times to make myself overwhelmed by the things that I commit to or put on my plate. Most of the time, not all the time, most of the time, that is not because of other people doing it for me. So try to be mindful of that, right? What will you do when overwhelm comes? Will you adjust your schedule, adjust your approach, and move forward? Or will you let it paralyze and torture you? Because I see that happen to a lot of people. They get overwhelmed and they're paralyzed and they don't do anything, but then they're tortured by the fact that they really feel drawn still to do this. They know in their version of the best version of themselves that they're killing this coaching thing, and they're talking with a lot of people because they know it will help them, but they're not doing anything because they're overwhelmed. They're not taking action. Then they feel miserable about it and they're just not happy, but they're not taking action because they're still overwhelmed. So just do it anyways and shift something so that you don't stay in that cycle. And this, if you have been there or you are there, please know that it's very common. This is not something only you struggle with. This is a very, very common thing, not just in Beachbody coaching, but in people's health journey. How many people do you know feel miserable, like unhealthy? They do not have energy. They are overweight. They have bad habits. They're drinking alcohol every night. They are not drinking enough water. They're watching TV till 2 a.m. Unhealthy habits making them feel miserable. They're verbalizing how miserable they are, but they're not doing anything different. They're continuing to do the same things that make them feel miserable, right? It's like part of the human condition. So don't beat yourself up about it, but just know that there is a way out, but you have to make that choice first to break up that cycle. Okay, eliminate extra space in your schedule and use it to teach, not learn. When I say extra space, look at your day and what is it that is not contributing to your growth? This is not a judgy question or a judgy point because everyone's different. But think of Netflix, Amazon shopping, inefficiency of time, running around when you really don't need to. Excuse me. Is there any part of your life, your 24 hours, that you could be more efficient with? And if you find some extra time, I'm going to encourage you to use it to teach primarily and not to soak up more information. Most people learn too much and they do not take action. So teach something on Instagram. Do a live video. Do a live video on Facebook. Do a YouTube video. What can you teach people, even if you don't have any coaches under you? Teach your customers or your prospects on social media or your friends. Like, do a cooking class. I don't know. Do a screen share of how to navigate Beachbody on demand. Teach people about your bike. Teach about things because you learn through teaching. And in making points of what you want to teach about, you're going to be learning about that thing. And when you teach it, research has shown it's more ingrained into your brain. With that comes confidence. When you have confidence, you will more boldly talk about what you're doing, right? Right. Okay. Last point, when something is not working, please do not continue to do it over and over and over again, expecting a different result. That is the definition of insanity, and it will torture you. If something is not working, whether that is something that I taught you or Beachbody taught you, let's take the business activity tracker, for example, the Success Club tracker. I will be honest with you to tell you that I personally have not used it in a very long time. I still put it in our New Coach University because I think it's a fantastic tool with an amazing outline. I do not track my stuff like I should with a tool like that. I did something similar when I was new, but at this point I don't. But if I am telling you use the business activity tracker because you're struggling with your habits, with business growth, and you want to grow, and it's not working for you, you keep getting stuck on it, you keep whatever, overthinking it, it's taking you way too long, it's just, you see it and your mind freaks out and you lose all your words, then don't use it. Tell me or tell your coach, I'm sorry, this just isn't working for me. Do you have a different approach? Or learn a different approach. There's actually several business activity trackers that are different than that for Beachbody that different top coaches have created, or make your own. I did the 30 Worthy Challenge. That was a business challenge. And that's a different type of tracker that might work. It's prettier to look at and less overwhelming. But find ways to shift what you're doing to where you're still focusing on income producing activities and it's not paralyzing you. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Okay. I have 2 more things to share with you guys. It's on the second page of the link that I shared. And then I'd love to open it up to questions or feedback or any of the above. And this is from one of the questions that I got when it comes to when I have Beachbody time, when I have work time, what are like the most important income producing activities that I need to focus on? Because it's really easy. How many of you can identify with, you sit down to do coaching time and you end up making a graphic, or you end up scheduling posts or something that's not actually growing your business? It's very common for that to happen because it's not scary to do things like that. It's very comfortable, right? But then if you keep making graphics and scheduling bod group posts and that's all that you do, your business will not grow. You will not get new people. You will not have anyone in the pipeline, and you will get discouraged because your business is not growing, even though you're working and spending time. So I highlighted here what you can do, a busy person, to lean into the team to help cover the multiple facets that can come up with running a coaching business. Number one, we have a team, thankfully, that does do team delegation. And we have Beachbody that come up with resources to where we don't have to, not everyone needs to run their own bod group. Coming from me, who has a crazy time stuff going on, like many of you, I think it's best when we can link arms and at least have a few other coaches run a bod group with you. You don't have to be a part of mine. I'm just saying, instead of one person doing all the work, why not split it up into multiple people? Like our gut health protocol group that we're running, we have 7 different coaches. Everyone took a day of the week and we're all contributing. So we have bod groups that the team provides that you can lean into so that you're not putting that on your shoulders. We have monthly accountability chat threads on Facebook every single month that you can add your people to, that you can be a part of, so you don't have to do that all on your own. We have payday celebrations, usually every Thursday, between Thursday and Saturday lately. I've been going live in our business collaboration page, and I will shout out everyone in our organization who is on the leaderboard for Success Club, for enrollments, or for personal volume or earning volume. That is something that I will do. And then I shout out paid diamonds and emerald coaches. I do that every week. I try not to miss a week, but that's something that's already happening for you. We have graphics for total solution packs and programs. Beachbody has sizzle reels about programs. So for 4-week gut protocol, personally, this time, because I'm getting so specific of what I'm inviting to, when people reach out or say they want to know more information, I have a simple message I send them that says, awesome, here is Autumn's. I send them, it's in our coach office and on YouTube, but it's Autumn's 5-minute video explaining what the program is and her story. And then I send them the one graphic of the Shakeology 4-week gut protocol total solution pack for $159. And I say, this is a little more about the program, and this is the enrollment pack that would give you everything you need to get started. Look these over and let me know if you'd like to continue. I can help you get all set up. And every single time it's worked. Yes, oh my gosh, this is what I need. And then I say, okay, awesome. And I send them the infographic about Shakeology flavors, which is in our Facebook group. And it's in our new Coach University. What vegan flavor would you like? Send me your email. Awesome, got that piece of information. Would you like to be set up as a regular customer or a preferred customer that would activate 25% off all future orders? This is how I'm doing it right now, personally. And they'll tell me, and then I send up the share cart. Let me know when this is completed so I can help you get all set up. Awesome, I just completed my purchase. Great, send them an email. So it's like a system that works, that's very simple for me right now. And I got all of that from our team page or from Beachbody. So I didn't recreate new graphics, if that makes sense. Transformation stories are in Beachbody in our coach office. We have new coach trainings now, as I just told you all, that our teams created. And we have these team calls every single week on Mondays that you can be inviting anyone on your team to. So those are all things that the team is providing for your business to grow if you want to tap into those. Next is, what can you automate? What are automated systems that you can plug into as busy people? I personally have all my welcome emails through Flowdesk. Now, not everyone is going to be able to afford to do that. It's $19.95 a month or want to do that. And that's totally fine. But for me, it's so worth it, because all I have to do is add the person's email and name, and they get a welcome email that I've already set up through Flowdesk, and they get a series of 5 emails in their first month from me. That's something that's been awesome to have automated. You can send emails through your coach office. You can pay a virtual assistant to do recognition in your team or in your bod group. That's something that I actually used to pay somebody to do. You can actually pay people to do marketing plans for your Instagram. If that's something that's really holding you back, you can pay to have someone give you a 30-day with graphics and post-written already marketing for the month, if you want to. Those are potential automated things. Okay, so what are the personal key income producing activities that only you can do? And I just jotted some things down, in my opinion. Okay, attraction marketing. Mostly that's going to be on social media, but that could be in person as well. People want to work for you. People want to work with you because of you. And if they don't see you, they're not going to know you. They're not going to trust you. They're not going to want to work with you. Does that make sense? So only you can be you. Only you can share your story. Only you can share the ups and downs of your life. So you do that through sharing your life story in real time. Usually that's these days on social media. It doesn't have to be. You can go have a mom's group that you're a part of. You can host a cooking class at your house. You can host a meal prep party at your house. You can go do a mom's stroller walk every Monday or once a month. It doesn't matter how you do it, but you do need to network with people and be sharing what you're doing. Social media is just an easy, free way to do that. You need to be inviting to the program that you're doing and promoting, and inviting to coaching. That's not really something that you can, bye Johnny, that's not really something that you can delegate. Some people try to have a virtual assistant do that. I just don't personally recommend it because it's not going to be genuine, in my opinion. Experimenting with recipes is something that you can do. Experimenting with your workouts, educating people about what you do and how you do it, setting up share carts, plugging new customers into a bod group, and plugging new coaches into our New Coach University. You have the ability and opportunity and responsibility to influence your team, to influence your prospects, to connect with your customers, to connect with your coaches, and sending recognition messages or gifts. Now, let me preface this by saying, I am not good at all of those things. You do not need to do all of those things, but those are some tasks that you can focus on when you do have work time, because it's going to make people, it's going to influence your retention if you're checking in with your customers. It's going to help your coaches be successful by plugging them into the New Coach University, plugging your customers into resources, sending share cards, and mostly connecting with new people and inviting them to what you're doing. That is a continual process with coaching. So to wrap this up, I'm actually going to share my screen because I want you to see this. Why is it not letting me share my screen? Open system preferences. Oh, maybe I'm not going to share my screen. That's weird. But if you click on the link of the Google Doc that I sent you guys, it's the very last thing. I don't know why this is so weird. It's like a security thing, whatever. A simple breakdown of a success pathway in Beachbody. Number 1, a coach signs up. Number 2, a coach learns how to sign up their first 5 people. Number 3, their first 5 people get great results. Number 4, their first 5 people learn how to refer their friends for a bonus and switch to coach accounts. Number 5, the first 5 people start the New Coach University to learn the business. Number 6, first 5 people sign up their first 5 people, and then the process repeats. It really comes down to that. If you want to be successful in your business with this platform, that's what it comes down to. So just make sure that the activities that you're doing are in alignment with signing up people, getting them great results, teaching them that, hey, you got great results, you're feeling amazing. Do you have 5 friends that want to try this program? Because you could get $50 bonus for each person. Yeah, I have a few people. Awesome. Let me teach you how to do a share cart and get them signed up. Great. You can plug them into our group. Awesome. Hey, you just earned yourself $250. You should totally learn a little bit more about the business. I think you'd be amazing at it. They go through New Coach University. They get inspired. They sign up their first 5 people. You see how that it should be simple. We make it like, what is the word? Words are hard. Calculus? I don't know. We make it so complicated, but it should be so simple. And it just comes down to the things that we shared. So I don't know if this was helpful or like more overwhelming. I talked a lot, but I would love to hear if you guys have any questions or feedback on this. Was there anything that stuck out to you?
Jessica, everything. This girl, I am going to rewatch this. I'm going to at the very end, I'm stuck on 3. I'm stuck on 3. I just got a bike. I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but life as a busy teen mom now, in that different stage, I love your stage, but again, I have so many platforms to be able to do this. I just need to organize and but I love it. So this was very inspirational for me, and I appreciate your time and your expertise. And this is something that I'm really excited about. So thank you for this today. It was perfect.
Thank you, Tammy. I'm so glad. And I know that there's a few teen moms in our team who can absolutely identify. And I think for all of us, it just comes down to that. Like, we all have our own crazy. And if going back to, if our vision is clear and we really have that necessity to do something with it, and we really want to serve people, and we know they're going to get great results, then we have to find a way to figure it out. And that will look different for all of us. Thanks for sharing.
Honestly, though, because I love how you do it. I love how you live your life. But again, it's like I live on the Central Coast with this huge coach who is beautiful and wonderful lady, but it didn't work with me with them. And it really feels home here with you guys and more natural. So I feel like I'm excited about it, and I start to post, and then all of a sudden the enemy comes and I feel like I'm false, because they're doing all of this stuff, and it's like, if I tell people about it, they're like, oh, are you with Whitney? You must be with Whitney, and I'm like, so anyhow, I just got to get over myself. I'm going to, again, yeah. So
I think you and Krista should talk about that further, because you probably can both relate to that topic. Anything else, guys?
Thank you, Jess.
Awesome.
It's nice to be on here with so many faces and get to meet new people, and sometimes you start feeling like you're alone, and it's only you that feels that way, and it's nice knowing you don't, that you have other people that get it.
We're all a little messed up in the head, like we really are.
I just want to say thanks to Jess for the call. It was perfect. I always forget how much just logging on Mondays for an hour really does just start the week with the reminders that you need in order to do this type of business. And like I mentioned, it's really the income producing activities and making sure that they're really just done, I think. And it's so hard to that we get so caught up in overthinking everything, and especially in the beginning, I think it's the worst, because we were so hard on ourselves in the beginning. But now it, for me, it has nothing to do with fear or judgment. It's more of just the doing. Just do it. Just sit down, take that hour, and focus on the make the conversations, make the effort, send the DMs, send the follow-ups, send the share cards that people say they want. Just do the thing. And so for anybody that's on here, I definitely want to be more intentional with my income producing activities and the things that I'm doing. And I know Jamie and you just have done kind of those work hours before. So if any of you are open to maybe trying to structure something, even if it's, 1 day a week to start or 2 days a week to start, and even if we're not working together, but maybe we're on a separate text thread or a group message that is kind of hey, what'd you do for your income producing activities? Because at the end of the day, in order to grow this business, your coaching business, that is the graphics and everything, they're just fluff. And the money and the momentum comes from those conversations. And I feel that everybody that's watching your stories is just waiting to hear from you, in a sense, even if it's just you reaching out, they just need that DM from you. So anybody that's open to that, I definitely would love an accountability partner this next month in trying to build that aspect of my business better.
Sarah, will you do a post in our business collaboration page and ask who wants to be, because then we can, from that, we can make a different, a text thread or a message pod or something.
Absolutely. I will do that.
Can we see your baby bump?
It's just coming out. I'm gonna be 6 months next week, which is just mind blowing to me.
Oh my God.
I know, it's crazy, but exciting.
Thank you.
But I will make that post, and it was so great seeing all of your faces on here today.
So good seeing you.
Hey, and if anybody does do a work hour, it might be kind of cool if they post, if you guys have Zoom, like I have Zoom, and if you guys don't, you can post who has Zoom and we could do it together. I would love that because I'm right now more random. I'm trying to get more scheduled, but I'm way more random, and like somebody jumping on and saying, "Hey, I'm working right now," might actually go, "Okay, you know what? I actually could do that." It would maybe get me going a little bit, just like Sarah said. So I'm down with that too.
I'm in the same boat too. Sorry, I have kids that are like going to start World War IV. But I'm in the same page as Felicia, I think you had mentioned. So I'm down for that too. Like some spontaneity, I can probably hop on. I was able to do it today. And thank you for the content, Jessica. It gave me the tough love. I don't see it as tough love. It's just what I needed to hear. So it gave me everything I needed to hear. So thank you.
Yay. Awesome, guys. Thank you all for making it. I will have this recording up, and I will, like as mentioned, I will download the link for any of you, like Chris, I know you're on the road. So I'll download the link to all these different points and make it a PDF and put it in our team page so that we have it, you guys have it for reference. You could send it to, whoever in the future as you need it. And then just a reminder too on the New Coach University that is now open to everyone to do at their own pace. I think I will say every single person who's completed that whole thing has grown their business, whether it was promoted to Emerald or Emerald again. So that is really good news. And we will continue to update and edit that as we continue to get feedback too. So please give that honest feedback on that. So, okay, guys, I am going to let you all go. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.